Hello, my name is Kyle Pajarito, Training and Exercise Coordinator with the West Virginia Emergency Management Division. I am also the State National Qualification System, or NQS, Coordinator, and today I'll be explaining working on your TaskBook as part of our NQS program. First and foremost, all NQS participants will be shared a Google Drive folder titled WVEMD NQS your last name, then your first name. Note that this NQS folder is your primary site for all your NQS activities, and you'll be spending the majority of your NQS related time utilizing your NQS folder. If you cannot find your NQS folder, please contact me via email, which is provided in the description of this video. This slide shows what your NQS folder will look like. As you can see, there are two subfolders, supporting documentation and training certificates, along with three PDFs, application for position certification, records of experience, and a task book. I will explain what each of these items are for and how they interact with each other in the coming slides. But before moving on, you'll need to know how to edit your documents in your NQS folder. Simply right-click on the document, hover over Open With, then select the Adobe Acrobat option. If your computer is compatible with Adobe Acrobat, it will open a new window in which you can freely edit and save documents. However, if your computer is not compatible with Adobe Acrobat, you can either 1. Download the document itself and make edits offline, or 2. Select Google Docs option to create a Google Doc version of the document. So let's dive right into working on your task book. Now there are three documents involved with completing tasks in your task book. These documents are 1. The records of experience, 2. Supporting documentation, and 3. Your task book itself. First, let's go over the records of experience, which you will use to list all experiences you intend to utilize to complete tasks in your task book. As you can see, the first column states evaluation record number. This number is static and does not change, and it's important to remember these numbers for the remainder of this presentation. The second, third, and fourth columns show the name of the event, date of the event, and your position or role in that event. And the last column shows brief details of your participation in that same event. Note that your records of experience document in your NQS folder has enough space for 20 experiences. Overall, the purpose of the records of experience is to compile and consolidate all experiences relevant to the tasks on your task book. Second is the supporting documentation, which are housed in the supporting documentation subfolder. This subfolder contains further subfolders, which correspond with the evaluation record number column on the records of experience. In other words, and for example, the subfolder evaluation record number 1 must contain the supporting documents proving you actively participated in the corresponding experience you listed for evaluation record number 1 on your records of experience. Note that you must provide at least one supporting document for each experience, but you are welcome to provide multiple supporting documents if you see fit. For example, the image on this slide shows multiple incident action plans held under the evaluation record number 1 subfolder, which again corresponds to evaluation record number 1 on your records of experience. Here is a list of acceptable supporting documentation. Supporting documents can include incident action plans, after action reports, situation reports, activity logs, ICS forms, training certificates or transcripts, signed official memos, and letters of recommendation. This list is not exhaustive, and any documentation can be used as a supporting document as long as it proves you actively participated in a given event. If you are unsure of the validity of a supporting document, please contact me for confirmation. The third document is your task book itself. Once you listed an experience on your records of experience and have ensured there is an acceptable supporting document in the corresponding supporting documentation subfolder, and here we're using evaluation record number 1 as the example, you may then use it to complete tasks in your task book by inputting the same evaluation record number in the correct cell. For example, this image indicates task 5, which reads, demonstrate effective communication skills, such as the ability to translate technical jargon into plain language, was completed in the experience listed as evaluation record number 1. Therefore, you simply need to input 1 in the cell to the right to complete the task. This slide visualizes how all three documents interact with each other to complete a task. Going left to right, the NQS participant provided three incident action plans in the Evaluation Record Number 1 subfolder under the Supporting Documentation subfolder. These incident action plans prove that the NQS participant has actively participated in that event. This corresponds with Evaluation Record Number 1 on the Records of Experience, which again gives brief details of that experience. Then, the NQS participant inputted the number 1 in Task 5 and Task 6 to complete those tasks. Again, all three documents must be used to complete tasks in your TaskBook. In regards to evaluating your tasks, you simply need to inform your TaskBook evaluator once you have completed a task on your TaskBook. Then, if your task completion is acceptable, your evaluator will input their initials and the date in the corresponding cell. Note that depending on which method of TaskBook completion you have selected, your evaluator will either be your respective WVEMD area liaison, your direct supervisor in the State Emergency Operations Center if you're assigned to the State EOC, or the WVEMD Qualification Review Board. If you are unsure, please contact me for confirmation. All TaskBooks also have required training. If you have a WVEMD TaskBook, the required training is listed on page 2 of your TaskBook. However, if you have a FEMA TaskBook, the required training is listed on the FEMA Resource Typing Library Tool, or RTLT. If you have any questions on where to find your required training, please contact me for confirmation. Regardless, you must submit certificates or transcripts of all required training into the Training Certificates subfolder in your NQS folder. Once you have 1. Completed all tasks in your TaskBook, 2. Have been evaluated on all tasks in your TaskBook, and 3. Have submitted all training certificates or transcripts, please complete the Application for Position Certification form, which is also in your NQS folder. After your application for position certification form has been completed, contact me for confirmation. Then I will perform an initial review of your NQS folder to ensure all documentation is provided. If there are any issues with documentation, I will reach back to you with instructions for correction. If there are no issues, I will prepare your NQS application packet, which will be submitted to the WVEMD Qualification Review Board, the governing body of the NQS program in West Virginia, for further review, a decision on approval, and the ratification of the issuance of a credentials card. In summary, the NQS folder is your primary site for NQS activities. You will spend most of your NQS-related time in your NQS folder. The three documents used in completing tasks in your TaskBook are 1. The records of experience, 2. Supporting documentation, and 3. Your TaskBook itself. Also, all TaskBooks have required training, and remember to complete the application for position certification form once all of the aforementioned have been completed. Again, this is Kyle Pajarito, Training and Exercise Coordinator and State NQS Coordinator with the West Virginia Emergency Management Division. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you for your time and have a great day.